Hi, my name's Michael Harriot. I'm a Clevedon Town Councillor for East Ward. Well, I retired about 4 years ago, so I fill my time with many things. One of the big things I do, which I'm at the moment, is working for Clevedon Community Bookshop. So if you haven't been to our bookshop on Copse Road, please come and visit us and buy some books. I work in the warehouse, which is sort of the grimier end of the business, where we receive books and sort books and list books for sale on our internet shop as well. So I'm doing that. I also do litter picking. I work with Clevedon Pride. They're a fantastic group in town that keeps our streets clean and Queen Square nice and neat and tidy. So I litter pick the roads around me and into town. So I do that about twice a week, usually when I'm walking into town. So people may see me with the blue bag and I pick her. So say hello if you see me. And I also volunteer with one of my favourite organisations in town, which is the Curzon. I love the Curzon. I love the fact that not only it's a commercial cinema, but it does arts and other things than just cinema. So it does arts, it does comedy, it does live music. So I think it's a really fantastic resource in town. So I work them as a volunteer. I usher for them, and I also work the bar occasionally. I've lived in Clevedon since 2012. So that's now what, 13 years. So not quite a blow-in yet, but soon be a regular in another 15, 20 years. Might just be classified as a local. About 4 or 5 years ago, we were looking to buy a house in Clevedon because we were renting up by the seafront. And we were looking all around. And what drew us back to Clevedon, I think, were two things. One is just the seafront and the sea. And why wouldn't you want to live by the sea? So we love that. And the other thing that drew us back was the Curzon again. Because we love the Curzon so much, we thought rather than live somewhere else and have to drive into town to work at the Curzon, we would live in town. So I think it was the two things, the seaside and the Curzon. And I don't know, we lived up near Hill Road, so the thriving and independent Hill Road shops, the restaurants up there, lovely. I think my vision, I think this is one of the reasons I got involved with the council, is I want the town to be more, I think it needs to be more proud of itself and push itself and develop itself. I think we've got in a rut in the last 10 years. And I think we've lost that kind of thriving Clevedon that I want to see. So I want to see more independent shops in town. I want to see a thriving community and cultural space where people can come and enjoy things and attract people in from other things. So the Clevedon Literature Festival is a fantastic example of that, where people have come together and made such a great festival. And I think we on the town council can facilitate and help with that process. It's not the council doing it itself, but actually I think the town council can facilitate some of that stuff. And I really just have a vision of a really successful, proud town in about 10 years' time. I think the other thing about council is I wanted to, when I stood for council, I stood as an elected councillor. There was a vacancy in East Ward. And although often councils co-opt members onto the council, I wanted to have an election because I think it's important that people get to choose their councillors, not just sometimes members co-opting other members. So I went down the route of standing for election. Unfortunately, I was the only one, which I was pleased for myself. But actually, the reason I wanted to do that is I think it's important, again, for people to put their stalls out to explain to the voters what their vision for the town is and have some backing for that. So I stood because I wanted to have an election and see what happens. I'm pleased I got elected unopposed, but I think next time round I'd like to have more elections. I think that's important for the electoral process and the democratic mandate that councillors have.